ladies, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to chat about how to create irresistible connection with your feminine energy through sovereign relating. So there's two types of women in the world. There are women who are surface level, who are a little bit more guarded and aloof with men. And then there are sovereign women who are embodied in their unique self-expression and who are exuding this irresistible confidence from the inside out. So many women are stuck in the aloof side where they aren't really letting the men feel them and see them and connect with them on a deeper level. And unfortunately, this can put you into a category of she's okay for now with a lot of men, just because he's not really connecting with you on anything deeper than just the surface. So the sovereign woman knows how to tickle a man with her speaking and evoke a primal, ravenous desire in him that makes him feel compelled to want to cherish, adore, and protect you. So you're going to hear many different definitions on what femininity actually is, depending on the platform. So for me, it's not necessarily about acting like something that you're not. It's not about you using a specific tactic or strategy on a man to make him do something. It's not about the pretty dresses. It's not about being over-sexualized. It's not about you pleasing a man or over-giving or changing who you are to get approval. To me, it's all about discovering who the unique woman in you actually is, and then allowing that to be expressed through your words, through your movement, through your body, and through your behavior. And when you understand how to fall in love with yourself, this type of radiance is what calls in the right supreme energy man that's meant for you. So there's a lot of pretty women out there, women who have wonderful jobs, women who can cook and who can clean. And by now, most men have encountered hundreds of women who are like that. But as you can see, those are not the things that really inspire a man's love or his connection. It does take more than what you look like and takes more than your resume to attract and sustain a higher quality connection. So what we're going to dig into today is understanding how to find that individuality and that originality within you. So sovereign relating is all about you living in your own world of enchantment and then allowing and inviting the right man into that world with you to experience that magic with you. Sovereign relating is about you bringing your allure and your passion and your magic to the table. And this is actually what helps you become that captivating standout woman in the dating world. So I want you to drop out of your head and down into your body and really reflect on what brings you pleasure, what lights you up, what brings you delight. Because you opening up your soul in this way allows a man to get out of his thinking brain and down into his soul as well. So he'll feel connected to you the more he sees you connected to yourself. Because the masculine world is very bland, it's very dull. So what they're seeking from the feminine, from the woman, whether they are conscious of this or not, is the color. The vivaciousness, the sensuality, the warmth, for you to tickle their spirit and for you to channel your magic into them when you're in their presence. That's the kind of energy, that's the kind of woman that they want to commit to and be next to long term. So how do you do sovereign relating? So I'm going to go over a few golden keys on how to make this possible. And make sure you listen until the end because I'm going to give you a couple of word for word phrases so you can see practical examples of what this looks like. So key number one is going to be that you need to heal your relationship to men. So a lot of women walk around very guarded and with a lot of armor, and that's actually very understandable, especially if you have experienced heartbreak and trauma. It is normal to want to hide yourself and guard yourself and keep yourself safe by keeping other people at a distance. But you do have to be realistic that a healthy supreme energy man, the kind of man that doesn't mean any harm, the kind of man that actually wants to connect with you, he can sense if you have a lot of hatred towards all men, and not healing from your past it's going to have you unconsciously projecting and dumping all of that baggage onto him. Even if you don't realize it, it's going to come out with very passive aggressive comments. It's going to infect your behavior, making him, or whoever the other person is, feel like they're being punished because of your past. And if you think about that, is that really fair? Would you want a man treating you badly just because, would you want a man treating you badly or assuming the worst about you just because he was cheated on in the past by somebody else, So you can't really hate all men and then expect to find one who loves you and wants to be near you and next to you. Just like you wouldn't go near the kind of men who are bitter and who are throwing tantrums on the internet. you wouldn't be attracted to that. So you do have to understand that a healthy man isn't going to be attracted to a bitter woman either. So you do have to take that time to release the frigidity in your heart. And, because that's not something you can fake with a smile. You can't hide your hatred and your anger behind a fake smile. Like, it is going to be felt in your energy anyway. So you do have to take that time to learn how to be open to love and be open to good quality men. Learn how to heal, learn how to feel safe from within. So just like a garden, the flowers have a fence to keep the intruders out. So I want you to treat your heart the same way. You don't have to lock it away. You don't have to guard yourself. What you have to do is just learn how to do the healing to rejuvenate the beauty that's there. And then learn to set the proper limits to keep that sacred area protected and safe by only allowing the right people into that world. So key number 2 is going to be the way that you communicate. So communicating from the soul is what creates a soul mate connection. So sovereign relating is all about you communicating from a place of depth within you to inspire the depth within a man. So this type of articulation is very mysterious and it's very captivating to a man because he doesn't naturally have something like that. So it does naturally inspire him to want to conquer you and win with you just because it's so different. Key number 3 is going to be that it needs to be genuine. So sovereign relating, if you're approaching this with the intention to manipulate a man, trying to use it as a strategy or a tactic to manipulate a man, I'm actually highly against that because it's always going to lead to a dead end because you're not being authentic. And if you're not being authentic, if you're being deceptive, you're going to attract deceptive men in return. So the point of this is for you to understand how to fall in love with yourself, how to fall in love with your own magic. And then that kind of energy, that kind of radiance is what calls in the right man for you. So you see, it's not about you saying the right thing or doing certain things to capture a man. This is more about you getting in touch with your spirit, getting in touch with your soul, expressing that, allowing that to be seen, and then allowing the right man to connect with you and step forward if he feels inspired to. So sovereign relating is the language of the soul. It's important to set this tone from the beginning of your courting phase because, so when there's conflict later on, he's already going to have a healthy association with your emotions, and there's going to be a solid foundation between you two where he'll be more likely to listen to you and resolve things with you. Otherwise, if you never create this kind of connection and this kind of foundation with a guy, and then you try to bombard him later on with drama and expectations, he's going to run off or he's going to shut down or he's going to want to ignore you because that's not what he signed up for. So if you want to succeed, you have to make sure you're setting up the right blueprint with you and your man. So this way of connecting is really important so that he, connecting this way is important so he can actually cherish how you feel. He'll be inspired to want to cherish how you feel. If not, your feelings are going to be really foreign to him and there's not going to be much depth or connection between you both. So let's go over a few examples. So I'm a dancer. So let's say a guy asks me, what do I love about dancing? The flat answer could be something like, oh, I like it because it's fun. Whereas the sovereign relating answer could be something like, I just love feeling like a goddess, gliding through the studio, creating this sensual art with my body and with my movement. Can you see how much more depth that has to it? It kind of paints him a picture of what's going on within your soul, and that's what allows him to feel connected to you. You're adding flavor to your words, you're adding juiciness and aliveness, and it's very refreshing, and it allows you to fall in love with your own life. And that kind of energy inspires the right man to want to add to that. Another example is, let's say a man asks you what you did today. The flat answer could be something like, oh, I went to the park today, it was fun. Or the soul answer could be something like, I spent some time at my favorite park today, soaking in the sunshine and feeling the fresh air against my skin. I love tossing the phone in the car and getting lost in nature. It's so fun to escape and forget about the world. So you can see, anyone can say that they like books or that they like art or that they like hiking or food. But when you actually tap into expressing what those things actually mean to you, that actually makes you really unique. That makes you really different. And that's actually you stepping into your own lane as a woman, where there's no competition because no one is you and no one feels the world the way you do. And I don't want you repeating cookie cutter generic statements with men. I really want you to express how you genuinely feel about something and then allow that to be seen. It's actually, doing this is actually a very vulnerable way to speak, but that's actually the key to attracting the right man to you. There's actually a lot of power in it. And you'll attract a man who loves you, for your unique beauty rather than something just on the surface. So there are many layers to sovereign relating. And this is only the first layer when it comes to initially bonding with a man. So what we talked about today is tier 1 in sovereign relating, which is all about you understanding how to express your everyday delight and happiness and pleasure. But as your dynamic deepens with a man and progresses, you're gonna have to learn how to communicate deeper and take the communication deeper in order to deepen the bond with him. So that's what tier 2, 3, and 4 go into. And if you want to learn more about that, see more examples on how to do that, then make sure you be on the lookout for my upcoming relationship program. It's going to go even deeper into all of this stuff. Because I want you to remember that your depth of who you are as a woman is not flat and one-dimensional. Your depth is like the ocean, and just like you're never bored with the ocean, because there's always going to be something to explore, something to dive into, something to have fun with. So your enchanted soul is unique because no one is ever going to be like you. No one's ever going to have the same self-expression as you do. So this naturally makes you very captivating because it's allowing yourself to feel how the world around you impacts you and inspires you, and you expressing that through your words and through your energy and through your body. So this is part of your divine feminine power as a woman. Now, I want to go over a few caveats here. And number 1 is that it needs to be the right man. So not every man deserves access to you in this way. Like I said, this is actually a very vulnerable way to speak. And not every man deserves to be connected to you in that way. So, just remember that, like I said, not every man is going to be the right match. So remember that things will fall into place when it is the right man. And another good thing about this is that it weeds out the time wasters. So there's going to be men who actually don't want a soul connection, So I want you to watch how the guy responds to you when you speak to him in this way. Does he become intrigued? Does he get protective? Does he want more of you? Or does he try to shut you down? Does he get entitled? Does he want you to be more shallow? Does he act like you're doing something wrong? Does he get uncomfortable? Does he run away from you? So this is actually a very good test to see the level of depth within the man and to see if he would make a good long-term partner or not. You may have guys who short circuit because the connection and the energy might be overwhelming to him. And I've had this happen to myself, and that's actually a very good thing. When your energy and the way that you carry yourself scares off low-quality people, that's a good sign, and that lets you know that you're on the right path, because they won't want to go near you because you're too good for them and you're too powerful for them. So I don't know about you, but I'm over the phase of, just wanting to be pretty and get attention from men. That was fun when I was 21, but now at 30, I want more than that. I love knowing that I can evoke the primal protector in a man, with my words and with my energy. I love to know that I can inspire him and be his muse and capture his spirit. I love to know that my energy makes him feel protective of me and warm and fuzzy on the inside. I love knowing that, he feels compelled to want to look out for me and protect me. And that's what commitment-minded supreme energy men are looking for. The kind of men who are ready for something serious and ready for something deeply connected. They're going to be looking for the woman who knows how to make him feel a certain way and really ignite that visceral, gut level, protective response in them. So I value depth these days, and I really hope that you do too. For normal, everyday women, a man may view her on the surface as nice or cute or hot or sexy, but that's kind of flat and boring, But the sovereign woman will get responses from men where they feel turned on by her, but turned on in a deeply romantic way, or she'll have men telling her that no one has ever captured their fascination and their emotional stimulation like her. Or another one that I've heard is, I had a guy say, "You make me tingle when you speak. I can't get you off of my mind. I feel deeply connected to you." So if you want compliments like that, if you want to get comments like that, either from the men that you're dating, the man that you're in a relationship with, or even the man that you're already married to, then you do have to learn how to embody this enchantment from the inside out with your feminine energy. So elite feminine sovereignty is actually the kind of spiritual power that actually grows as you get older, so it doesn't really matter what you look like or what age you are. It's a spiritual power that evolves and that expands every day and every year. And a woman can learn how to cultivate that and channel that through her by joining my programs. And when you do, you'll have access to much better quality partners than you ever did before. All right, my loves, thank you for joining me. Thank you for showing up to this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more. And before you go, I want you to practice your sovereign relating down below in the comments. So pretend that I'm a guy and I asked you what was the highlight of your weekend. Express to me what brought you the most joy and the most pleasure this weekend. All right, ladies, I'm looking forward to hearing your responses and I will catch you later. All right, take care. Bye-bye.